two methods to solve rational equations. And remember, rational just means fraction. So if we were solving this proportion, meaning one fraction equals another fraction, I would do two simple steps. The first thing I would do is I would cross multiply, meaning multiply that way and then multiply that way. So the blue circle would be 3 times 8, and the red circle would be 4 times x. So I would have 24 equals 4x. So after I've cross multiplied, my second step is going to be to solve for x. To do that, I would just divide by 4. So that missing value, that x, is 6. Alright? So the first method of solving rational equations is just to cross multiply. Our two simple steps: cross multiply, solve for x. Now they're going to get a little bit bigger. We're going to have binomials, so on and so forth. So to cross multiply, I'm going to multiply 15 times 2. So 15 times 2. Then I'm going to multiply 5 times x minus 1. Now I've got a binomial, so I'm going to have to remember to distribute everything. So 15 times 2 is 30 equals, distribute, so 5x, and 5 times negative 1, which is negative 5. Now my second step is to solve for x. So I'm going to get x all by itself. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 5 to both sides. That cancels out. 30 plus 5 is 35, equals 5x. Last step to get that x by itself is to divide. So x equals 7. Okay. If you want to pause them and try them, go ahead and pause them and try these first two. Alright, number 1, I'm going to cross multiply. So I'm going to have 4 times x minus 2. Then I'm going to have x times 9, which is 9x. So remember, with the binomial, we're going to have to distribute. So 4 times x, which is 4x, and 4 times negative 2, which is negative 8, equals 9x. So now I'm going to solve for x, and if you'll notice, you've got x's on both sides. So I got to get all my x's on one side. So I'm going to move this 4x by subtracting it. So 4x minus 4x goes away. Up to negative 8 equals 5x. So I'm going to divide by 5. And x is equal to negative 1.6. Alright, number 2. Number 2 gets a little bit bigger because I've got two binomials. So there's the first one. There's the second one. So I'm going to have to remember to distribute twice. That's going to be 2x plus 4. And distribute again over here. So 3 times 2x is 6x minus 12. Now I've got constants and variables on both sides. So I'm going to get all my constants, all my just plain old numbers on one side, and all my variables on the other side. So I'm going to move 2x to the other side. Now I'm going to move 12 to the other side. So I can have all my numbers on one side, all my variables on the other side. Alright, last step is going to be divide by 4. And x is equal to 4. Alright, if you want to try 3 and 4 by yourself, pause it here. Alright, these are going to work the same way. Cross multiply. Distribute. Get x's on one side. because I don't want to have to deal with a negative x, meaning I have to divide by a -1. So I always move the smaller x over, or whichever's going to leave me something positive. All right, number 4. So 2 times 2x plus 3, and 3 times x plus 1. Distribute everything out. So this time I'm going to move that 3x over. I'm going to go the other direction this time, but it still leaves me with that positive x. So subtract 6, and x is equal to -3. Now you can always go back and plug that value in to both equations and see if it gives you the same answer. Alright, starting on page 4, 5 through 8 get a little bit bigger. Because if you'll notice, we're going to be multiplying binomials times binomials, which means you're either going to have the box method or FOIL it. So for this first one, we've got 8x minus 4 times x plus 2. Alright, then we've got x times 8x minus 8. So because I've got binomial times binomial, I can FOIL it, or I can do the box method, either one. So when I box it or FOIL it, I get left with 8x squared plus 12x minus 8. That's after FOIL, after box. Equals 8x squared minus 8x. Now, something different this time is that squared. You've got squareds on both sides. So I'm going to get rid of that first if I can, meaning I may have to do some factoring. I need to get everything try to get everything on one side. So if I move this 8x squared over, and you could move it either way, 8x squared minus 8x squared, that causes that to cancel, but it also causes it to cancel here, so that goes away. So I've got 12x minus 8 equals -8x. So because I've got a x on this side, I'm going to move that 12x over to cut down on steps. Alright, so last thing I want to do is divide by that -20. And x is equal to 0. Alright, you try number 6. Pause it, try number 6. You'll notice you're going to have a binomial and binomial twice, so you're going to have to do the box or FOIL twice. Alright, I'm going to erase number 5 so we have some room. Alright, so let's see, we've got x minus 2 times x plus 10. We've got x plus 4 times x plus 1. So I'm going to box or FOIL both sides because of the binomial times the binomial. Alright, this side leaves me for boxing and FOILing, whichever. This side leaves me with that. So now I'm going to try to move things around. So because of the x squareds, I'm going to combine them. And yet again, I'm canceling them, because x squared minus x squared is nothing. So I'm left with that. So now I'm going to get variables on one side, constants on the other side. So now we're going to add 20. So 3x equals 24. Divide by 3. And x is equal to 8. Alright, number 7. Alright, this one's set up a little bit different because you've got fraction equals x minus 7. But remember, anything can be made into a fraction just by putting it over 1. So when I multiply, I'm going to multiply -12 times that 1. And I'm still going to multiply x times x minus 7. So negative 12 equals distribute. Alright, this time that x squared's not going to cancel. I can move it around and it's still going to be there. So when your x squareds don't cancel, you want to get everything on the same side and set it equal to 0. So to set this one equal to 0, I would add 12 to both sides. That leaves me with nothing on that side. And I gotta solve a trinomial. So now I'm going to do the x method. So multiply to get 12, add to get negative 7, two negatives multiply to give a positive and add to be negative, so negative 4 and negative 3. So 0 equals x minus 4 times x minus 3. So I'm going to set each factor equal to 0. Move that to the other side. So x is equal to 4 and 3. So this one was a little bit different, the fact that we've got 2 answers. Alright, I'm going to erase so we have some room. Alright, number 8. Oh, I've got a binomial and a binomial again, so I have to box it or FOIL it. And we've got a monomial times a binomial, so I'm just going to distribute that. So when I box this side with the binomial and the binomial, we get 3x squared minus x minus 2 equals 3x squared minus 5x, and that's just distributing on this side. So box or FOIL on this. And distribute on the other side. Alright, so I've got those x squareds again. So I'm going to move